Here are my top tips for 2023 to succeed as a real estate professional. Number 1, get comfortable with different scenarios for your sellers, including potentially distressed property. Not every time a seller sells a house will they make a profit. This might sound weird to you if you've been licensed in the last 5 years, but many times sellers will either break even when they sell a house or have to cut a check for the difference. This is normal, and you shouldn't expect every seller to profit big or even little coming up in the next couple of years. Also, get comfortable with distressed property. Some of your listings will turn into short sales. Now, this is a side note for short sales. If you have never done one before, do not do one alone. What you should do is refer that listing away to an experienced short sale listing agent and negotiator and ask if you can learn along with them during the process. This is not something that you want to play around with when a seller is in this type of situation, because you might mess up and they might end up with a deficiency judgment or something worse that will affect their life for years to come. Number 2, interest rates might go down at the beginning of 2023, but just plan and expect for them to continue to go up. In this case, you need to be utilizing something that sellers are expecting, and that is asking for concessions for your buyer when you're writing an offer to have the seller buy down their interest rate. This will make it a little bit more palatable to them, give them a lower rate, and sellers actually are expecting this right now. So ask. There is no harm in asking. The worst they can say is no, especially if you are giving them a full priced offer. The odds that they give your buyer some money to buy down their rate is pretty high. So talk to your buyer's lender and see if they need a certain dollar amount or a percentage that they can use to buy down their interest rate, and write it into your offer as a seller ask. You never know. Number 3, as always, I'm feeling like a bit of a broken record here, but get involved with investors. Either help investors find deals on the MLS or comp wholesale deals that come your way that you can then turn around and sell to an investor. Get used to working with them. Help them see value in you to where you can turn around and be their listing agent for their fix and flips, or when they're getting rid of a buy and hold, like selling a rental property. So show an investor that you have value by bringing them a deal in hopes that you can get some of their fix and flip listings, or when they go to... Now, a few of you have asked, number 1, where to find investors like this. The best place to go is to your local REIA. Don't go to a REIA to say that you've been and you've done it and you didn't get anything out of it. You need to be intentional. You need to show up to the REIA with the intent to find some investors who are actively working, meaning they're actively buying deals. They are actively fix and flipping. They are actively looking for some long-term holds. These are the people that you are going to want to know and talk to. The best way to get them to want to work with you is by bringing some value to their life. So while you're there and while you're figuring out who's doing deals and who's doing business, ask them what their buy box is. Find them a deal that fits that buy box. Then you can feel comfortable in asking for either some of their fix and flip listings, especially if you brought them the property that they're fix and flipping, or when they go to list to sell one of their long-term holds, because that happens too. If you do a good job and you answer your phone, you help them find deals, you will have a client for life. And remember that investors aren't one-off sales. They will use you and you will get sales as a real estate agent, not once or twice a year, but once or twice a month, if not more. And again, to have a full and fulfilling business with more work than you even know what to do with, and where you're considering hiring another agent to help you out with, you only need a handful of these investors that are actively working. You don't need a list of 1,000 cash buyers. You need 2 to 5 investors who are actively working right now to have a full book of business for you for the entire year. So these are my top 3 tips for being successful as a real estate agent in 2023. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I cannot wait to see you succeed in the year to come.